So, before I start this video, I think some backstory for Korn is necessary. He's one of the many characters that got nerfed moving from Garden Warfare 2, and at first, he was arguably one of the worst characters in the game. At his very best, he was an inconvenience to fight, and at his worst, he was heavily outclassed by most of the DPS characters, including Nightcap, who conquered the meta. Since then, he's gotten a lot better. He was the first to get a legendary upgrade, and he was heavily buffed to make the meta much faster. I hope that small history lesson helped you guys understand Korn a little bit better, because in essence, this entire video is going to be about Korn, his kit, and his many powerful upgrades. In BFN, he got a rework of sorts, so this should be pretty interesting. Oh, and I should probably mention that I will not be covering Shogun Guard in this video. It's a very interesting upgrade, but this video is probably going to be long, and I'd rather give a legendary upgrade its own video, because I can go into more detail about it. With all of that out of the way, let's get right into it. I feel like Korn should probably be explained before I get into anything else. I mean, after all, this is a character's explained video. So let's start with Korn's stats. His lowest damage possible with no upgrades and no buffs is 5, with his highest being 6. That might sound pretty meh, especially for Korn, but there's more. He also has a base ammo of 52. That definitely helps, doesn't it? Also, his health was cut down from 150 to 125 in this game. Sorta stinks, but oh well. Next up is his kit, and like many other returning characters, his kit was changed moving from Garden Warfare 2. First of all, he lost his airstrike, although I don't think anybody's complaining. In return, he basically got a throwable Bloodhound ult, which allows him to scan a small area for zombies, called the Butter Beacon. Oh, and don't worry, if you think that sounds overpowered, then just wait until you hear about this. Korn deals more damage to opponents in Butter Beacon, so his base damage actually increases from 5 to 6, and his crit increases from 6 to 8. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. Next up is his fabled Huskop, which actually got a slight rework in this game. It isn't as good as it was in Garden Warfare 2, but that's to be expected. To remedy for this, they decided to make it so that every single kernel sticks to the ground until you return to said ground, where they all blow up. If that sounds pretty annoying, it's because it is. And it actually makes Huskop somehow more annoying than it was before, if you can believe it. Last and definitely least is his Shuck Shot, or should I say shots. Yeah, this game basically makes Shuck Shot multiple shots. Needless to say, it isn't as good, but you could say that about Korn in general. So that's his kit roughly explained. You can see that he's undergone some pretty major changes, but nothing that would change his character completely. Engineer. Now that we've covered the basics, let's get into his upgrades and what you could do with them. I think it's time to talk about the two big elephants in the room, Super Spin and Rapid Recob. First up is the lesser of the two evils, Rapid Recob. What it does is simple. It cuts down Korn's reload by 75%. That may not sound too bad, but let's take a look at that in game. Yeah, I think you see the issue here. It's incredible, but it has a major downside, which I'll get to in a little bit. And now, Super Spin. This ability kind of breaks Korn as we know it. So to put it simply, Super Spin allows Korn to have a faster fire rate after getting a Vanquish. And this effect can stack up to 3 times over the course of a few seconds. The stats are roughly 7%, 14%, and eventually 21%. The effect lasts for a few seconds without getting a Vanquish, 10 to be exact. If you couldn't guess it already, this upgrade is game-changing for some people, and just a novelty for others. It really depends on your playstyle, but if you play aggressive, then this might be the singular best upgrade to use in combat. Sort of. See, like most other pretty good upgrades, this upgrade, along with Rapid Recob, is pricey. They both cost 4 skill points, which is pretty harsh, but it's understandable. They're both disgustingly good, and they're not even the only good upgrades Korn gets. A few examples are as follows. 20/10, which basically makes the area affected by Butter Beacon bigger, Reconnaissance, which makes the refresh time for Butter Beacon faster if you vanquish a zombie in it, and Hopscotch, which makes Huskop even stronger if it touches an enemy. So there's a lot of options here. What should we use? Well, this is entirely up to you guys, but I made a few sets that might steer you guys in the right direction. First of all, we have what I like to call the aggro set. It contains Super Spin, Combo, and Reaping Leap. Super Spin increases your DPS, Combo allows you to use abilities faster if you eliminate multiple enemies in rapid succession, and Reaping Leap is there because you're left with 1 skill point, and honestly that's the best option you have. It basically makes Huskop's damage area bigger. Next up is a set that might appeal to those of you who have an extremely irrational fear of running out of ammo, which which contains Rapid Recob, Mob Cobs, and Reaping Leap. You've already heard about the first two, but what does Mob Cobs do? Well, they're exactly like what you think they'd be like. They pierce enemies, and the pierce shots deal more damage than normal. But there's an extra layer to it. The pierce shots increase your maximum ammo for a short time period, so now you essentially have a set that allows you to shoot infinitely. Nice. This next set is absolutely devious. I nicknamed it Permanent Bloodhound Ult, and you'll hear why in a second. This set contains Reconnaissance, 20/10 in combo. Now, if you were paying attention earlier, you may remember that I mentioned Corn doing more damage in Butter Beacon. Well, that comes into full play here. Throw a Butter Beacon down and laser your opponents. And with Reconnaissance in combo, the cooldown for it reduces significantly when you get elims within Butter Beacon. So you can essentially scan enemies permanently, at least until you die. The final set I have for this video is a bit of a memey one, and it's only here because it's a bit of fun. The upgrades in it are Happy Feet, which increases movement speed during Shuck Shot, Butter Branches, which increases movement speed when aiming, and Speedy, which increases movement speed overall except for sprinting. Use it if you want to waste Corn's potential. And that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's a bit different from my normal content, but it was fun to make. If you guys learned anything from this video, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you guys are new around here and you like what you see, drop a like, maybe even subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.